Hello and welcome to Gaming Knuckleheads Talk. And we've got a show for you tonight. Just check my texts. Oh, we're kicking things off with a little trip down memory lane. Now, retro gaming, what's better? Cathode ray tube TVs or new TVs?
Well, I think it really depends on what you're trying to go for, and whether you can really afford to get a CRT nowadays or not. You know, it's
before it broke, when a wall decoration landed on it, I had this giant square TV. Was a little bit more on the modern side with like buttons instead of knobs, but it still had cathode rays in it.
But I think if you're really trying to set in for that classic look, you know, it's got to be a CRT. But still, you know, if you want something that will get you kind of like a classic look, one thing you can do is get an OLED TV. And then get like in whatever game that you're playing, like whatever game collection, like you know that you bought on Steam or you know,
what does
like
PBM
Switch.
stand for?
You know, I really don't know.
Let me earmark that. I'll Discord it to you really quick. Excuse me, eBay. Don't worry, everybody. We're not sponsored. That will learn me to mute my mic before sending people shit behind the scenes. Anyway, you were saying?
I was just saying that with an OLED, and if you have like certain games, like say let's say the Castlevania collection.
Which one?
You know, on the first one on Steam or on like Switch or something. I think there's like a
Anniversary.
Yeah.
That's multi-platform.
Yeah. And anyways, if you have an OLED TV and you have like a certain, like if you go into the options menu, usually there's like for retro game collections, there's what are called shaders, and if you use one of those shaders, you can make it look like a CRT TV. So
I know a couple of modern game collections have filters like that too.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Filters as shaders.
Yeah, I don't know if it would be considered as authentic as the actual experience, though, you know?
No, it wouldn't, but it would still get you pretty close to it.
Yeah. Brent, what model was the TV that you gave me when you got your new one? Like what year?
I need to think back because that TV was the one I had back when I moved down here. So that would have to be. Let me do some math real quick, and I'll get right back to you.
You moved about what, 2011?
Yeah, I just need to triple check real quick. That would be.
Over a decade.
Probably either a 2011 or a 2012, because that's at least like 12 years ago.
Yeah. It's but yeah, no, because like I do my retro gaming through the new TV. You know, it still has like old AV hookups. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, maybe it's just that I don't have enough side-by-side comparison, but I really can't weigh in because it's been forever since I actually played on a CRT proper. Although the TV I had before the one you gave me, the one that was like wall mounted, but I couldn't wall mount it, so I had to like lean it against like the wall on the table. You remember that?
Yeah.
It's like there would be like an image burn on retro games when I turned off the TV. Like the image would be temporarily burned onto the screen for a few seconds. Yeah. I think depending on the model of newer LCD type stuff, high HD, I think like the image burn might really be the only real downside because people would probably be like, if they don't know technology, oh, it's gonna ruin your TV. Beats me. I don't know shit about tech.
Well, I do have like a mini OLED screen TV, and I've never had any burn-in problems, but I don't like leave it on all the time. I've used it to play like mainly like on the Switch and stuff like that, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, I never left the TV on either. I think it was just and the fact that all the hardware.
Yeah.
And what's your opinion on CRT versus new?
Well, my personal opinion, kind of similar with Matt's. I think new kind of is a little bit more of a way to go, unless you're looking for more of the retro sort of, like the retro sort of look.
Yeah. I know like old NES like light guns, like the Zapper and the Super Scope, though. You can't really play them on more modern stuff because they were designed for use with CRTs, So it's like at this point, even though I do have a couple of games for it, my Super Scope is more of like a conversation piece, even though I don't have the fucking mounting tools to actually hang it up and display it. Gotta look into that because like I have like the one thing that came with like my Aragorn sword that an old friend of ours gave me. Up for move, but that's holding like my replica of Contra's Katana, and I don't think like that little pokey thingy. But you've seen the Katana on the wall, right?
Yeah.
He's holding it up in the actual mounting thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think those are big enough to actually hold the Super Scope up anyway, so I would need to like.
Yeah, those are definitely not. They are not.
Yeah, I need to like toss it in the backseat of your car. But all right, bitch, let's go to Michael's Nest and how I mount this shit.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah. But yeah, first time I got the Super Scope, it was pretty much like I couldn't figure out how to use it because I'd never played with the Super Scope growing up, so I actually bought one secondhand online. And it was like I was like plugging in the receiver, and then it was like nothing was happening. And then I called the retro game shop. No, you gotta plug the controller in. It's been so damn long since I used. Last time I used Super Scope was like circa Devin were still here, and I don't know if you were with us or not. But it was like me, James, and Devin. And I think Nick was there too. Brent. We were playing Super Scope 6 because James has an old CRT that he uses for his retro gaming.
I'm not sure if I was with all of you in this particular one, but I do recall being at one time where we did do Super Scope.
Yeah, because because I'll tell you right now, it's like
I think it might have been with you guys.
It would have had to have been because I was the only one in the group with a Super Scope. I don't know if Devin ever got one of his own in recent years or not.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm remembering now.
Yeah, but it's like, that was literally the last time I used the Super Scope to actually play a game because I had access to the older TV. So, yeah. I mean, I had access to the older TV that I had at the time because I didn't get my my first HD one that I got from my brother. God knows where he got it from because he was still doing like on the whole bad drug habit at the time. But until 2016, so but the Super Scope didn't get super much use out of like playing with friends and shit. So so that's another plus to CRT. Because because I could say another way to make the Super Scope work on a modern TV, but I don't want Nintendo coming after us with new policy, so I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Yeah.
Fair use is fair use, and I mean no disrespect to a whole other country, but it's the Japanese corporations that feel like people who live in other countries have an obligation to abide by Japanese law. That's like from like a political and a legal aspect. That's not how it works. I should be allowed to say what I want to say because I'm not encouraging it. I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying this is something that you could do, and you wouldn't need to shell out for. And they're just going to be, oh, that's illegal here in Japan. Screw you, Miyamoto. I live in Florida. You either respect fair use, which is an American law, or you extradite my ass to Japan to stand trial. You don't get to just take my video down and say, "Oh, you're in violation of Japan." I'm not fucking Japanese. No. I can make a vapors joke, but that's beneath me. It's funny because I just did.
Yeah, we know. We got it.
All right, enough screwing around for now.
And I think there's the market for CRTs though. I think is kind of dwindling. You know, it's like all the people who wanted to get it probably have it by now.
I mean, I wouldn't mind getting one if it wasn't so damn expensive. It's just with like the layout of my apartment and everything. It'd be like, okay, I'm gonna put the CRT here, and we're gonna store it there until I can get my paws on some free time to actually move the big screen, you know, like the LCD. Put the CRT. Well, actually, that's a glass top table. I could put it on top of the filing cabinet. It's right here next to me, you know, and then just like and then I got like that little. I got like the miniature table where like my Wii U gamepad's on. I got two of those from my grandmother's estate. Like she passed in 2012, but nobody in the family wanted them, and they were just like shifting around for the longest time. And I think my aunt was cleaning out because she inherited my grandmother's condo. I got two of those, so I could just be like, TV here, put that in front. Fucking, you know, Super Nintendo or Genesis onto miniature table. I think that's like it's a foldable. You can see, Brent. It's like I think it's like one of those TV tables, you know. And then just like play right here, you know.
Yeah.
But I'd still have to put it away because I think it would look really, really weird just like sitting here in the studio when most of my retro gaming is done in the living room anyway. I mean, people viewing, they trust that the living room is back there. All they can really see in the camera feed is my front door. So.
Yeah.
Never mind the fact I was too goddamn lazy to turn on the studio ring light tonight.
It happens.
God, I feel so different in natural light on this show. Yeah.
And I just read about what PVMs are. Apparently, they're mainly for use, like for like professional studio sort of stuff, or like doctors and nurses use them. I assume for like screens for like surgery use and that sort of thing. So I mean, they have to be exactly, you know, right.
Well, I mean, I guess a YouTuber could be a doctor, but that YouTube video I sent you, it's a guy doing retro gaming on a CRT and a PVM TV and showing the comparisons.
Yeah. I'm not. I mean, I'm saying that.
Yeah.
You know, other people can still get them. Just, you know, that it's mainly just those are the people who mainly use them.
I was going to look up a CRT just to get an idea of what the price tags are looking like these days. Okay, you want to know what the cheapest one I found is?
What?
eBay. Digital Productions International GXP TVP 7, $48. You get this. It's a portable television, so ain't no way I'm using Super Scope with that. See, 76 for a Sharp 13N-M150B 13-inch CRT. That one is big based with no buy it now option. So yeah, everything that's non-portable, with the exception of like bid-based stuff, I'm seeing prices like $285, $250, $100 even.
Yeah.
The market could also be dwindling because nobody wants to pay that much for something that old.
Yeah.
Getting into antiquing territory, I'd love to see what a thrift store could offer me that eBay and Amazon can't.
Well, I've been to a lot of thrift stores here, and none of them have TVs, but the ones that do, they're smart, and they price it like they do online, so...
Boy, perhaps a little too smart.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so it's like, it's really hard to find something that's affordable, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, all right, well, I think we've exhausted that so we don't run out of time.
Yeah.
Next up is update-worthy collections. And by that, I don't mean like a gaming collection, like I have a collection of games on the shelf. I mean like Sonic Origins, for example. A collection of games that is actually a game itself. And the idea behind this topic in particular is, this came to me when it was like when Metal Slug 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and X came to the Switch in their original arcade forms. I was thinking like, but there's already a collection of all those games plus 6, which I believe was strictly console based, never appeared in an arcade. I think so. Because I know the games prior got ported to the AES, which was Neo Geo's home console at the time. Yeah. But it's like, I was like, that was where the idea was born, and that's where I'm going to kick it off, because like Metal Slug Anthology could have been ported to the Switch, because Metal Slug 7 and Metal Slug Double X, which is basically what Metal Slug X is to Metal Slug 2, they could have ripped just the base game mode from both games, left out all the extra bells and whistles, and popped them into like Metal Slug Anthology Plus or something, Yeah, because like you're looking at what, $48 for 1 through 5 and X at $8 a pop. Yeah. When you could just pay like $30 and get those games plus 6, plus 7, plus XX for, if I'm counting correctly, a grand total of 9 games. I mean, and it's one thing to port a collection over,
Yeah.
It's one thing to port a collection over. But to update a collection with new content, Yeah. So, what are some collections of games that exist on previous platforms that that you think are worthy of an update due to new installments if they were brought to a newer console?
I think. Oh, hold on. Let me think about it. You can go ahead, Brent, while I think.
I mean, you can't really say Mega Man because like everything Mega Man is already in both like the Legacy and Legacy X collection.
Yeah.
You were going there, weren't you?
Yeah.
Wait for Mega Man 11 or Mega Man X9, man.
Yeah.
They would be on X9 by now, right?
They're still on X8.
They didn't make an X7 or an X8?
No, they did make an X8.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they made another Mega Man X game, they'd be making X9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and
Ignore
Street.
it, Brent.
Let's see. Well, there was like I think no, I was thinking of Contra, but
Well, there
oh
is that
yeah,
new one coming out.
yeah.
So down the
There's
line.
a Metal Gear Solid, which had a port, but there's a new port, but I don't think they really did anything to really enhance it.
Huh.
The new ports of Metal Gear Solid 1 to 3. So I think actually the collection mode before it is actually better than the new one that they've come out with.
Damn.
Because, I mean, apparently for the Switch version, they capped it at like 30 FPS. And for every other version, it's not capped. But
yeah, but if you exclude Pokemon, isn't like every Switch game capped at 30?
almost all of them.
I mean, come on, I just said it. Pokemon's capped at like what, -1 million? One of these days, I've just got to like get some footage of that damned windmill in Artisan. And I've got to be doing the Sunflora challenge, like in a fresh save file at the time. And then just fucking screen share that shit.
Yeah.
And then everyone will be like, oh, that's why you're always taking the piss out on Pokemon. It's a damn windmill. Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Brent?
Me, truth be told, don't really know about, not really sure in regards of like ones that are like good collections or that sort of stuff.
Huh.
I honestly don't really have that much of a thing because I don't usually get collections.
Huh.
Hold on, let me look up some collections. Right.
Okay, so this is unrelated, but it's something I'm thinking of. Kind of want to go for the NTSC version, despite the lack of region locking. It's like I've been meaning to rebuy Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, and it's actually decentish price on Amazon. Like if I bought it right now for $25, free delivery tomorrow. Yeah, it seems that the only copies that Amazon has in stock, though, are the European versions. I'm not against that. Oh!
What?
Okay, let me put it this way. Holy currency conversions, Batman. I now know why the European version is $25.
Why?
I just found the NTSC version. And you can tell the version by looking at the rating. You know, like we have like E, they have like the numerical system, and then Japan has like lettering grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. $32. Oh, it's not bad. I might consider it. But I want to pay my rent tomorrow first. Since I can't 3D print my beam katana for my Travis Touchdown cosplay for what am I thinking of? Otaku Fest holiday special. I'm still sorting out like the whole, because I want to get the game back. It was one of those instances where it's like, I gotta sell this because I need the credit, but it's not a game I want to part with. I'm trying to break that habit.
Yeah.
Also, Brent, I remember once back in the day, I was crashing at your place before a trip. You were playing a Bioshock game. You have the Bioshock collection, right?
Yeah, that one I do have. It's just that I don't have like, I don't usually get a lot of collections, so I didn't really have too much to go there. But yeah, Bioshock definitely is a good one. I mean, at least in my personal opinion, it was good to really play like, the original the second game, and also it came with the DLC free of its like for the second game, which is very good.
Right.
And it also came with Infinite, which, depending on what you think about it, is like either hit or miss. I mean, it's definitely not as good as the first two, in my personal opinion, but it's not terrible.
If like some new Bioshock games came out down the line, would you say that the collection would be worthy of an update?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because you could put like games that might have new releases in the future on the list. Like, I like the Castlevania Anniversary Collection, but it's missing 2 games that I feel are imperative that should have been included. Legends and the Game Boy port of Kid Dracula, because they have the Famicom version translated into English, but they don't have like the Game Boy version. Yeah. It's like, since everything else in the collection is more like everything else in the collection released here in the States, Yeah. It's like, you would have thought that they would have taken the logical route and put the Game Boy version in internationally, but
Well, I wish they would have put in a version that was originally found on this Japanese computer called the Sharp at 68,000. It was just called Castlevania on there, and
that was it was called Castlevania, but it was actually Kid Dracula.
No, it was the real Castlevania. I mean, Kid Dracula's a real Castlevania, but you know what I'm trying to say.
It's real Castlevania. It's just more like spin-off territory.
Yeah.
Alucard, the younger years, before he appeared in Castlevania 3.
But, well, it stars Simon Belmont. It's more like a remake of the first one. But it's really good. The music is amazing.
Okay, when you say remake, is it like a direct remake of the NES version, or is it more like Super Castlevania 4, which was also a remake of the NES version?
I would say it's more like Super Castlevania 4.
Yeah, the music in that's good.
But yeah, it's just since it used like since it released on a computer system, well, it's the Sharp 68,000 was like it was both a computer machine and a games machine, but it was super expensive back in the day. Anyways, I just wish they had put that on the collection, but. Oh, and I was thinking of the Sega Genesis Classics collection.
Yeah?
That's a good one.
Oh.
I mean, because a lot of those games have been on previous systems, but not all together. Like I
think the big thing about like Sega Genesis collections, regardless if it's a 3DS one or like ones that came before it, or even the one on the Switch, I think one thing that a lot of people get pissed off about, and I would say maybe it's kind of cheating, but now that they've taken care of like the music issues with like Origins, and I'm just gonna flat out say it before I finish that. Like, Sega, just fucking pay Jackson's estate already. Like, make some kind of deal with them and like port them. I know the music is a prototype music, but it's like Ice Cap. Just like it's bad, And even Carnival Night, worst. Honestly, I don't know what's worse, Spring Stadium or Carnival Night Zone, but like. At least the music that Jackson did was better, And it's like, but that it's like the music is like one of the bigger issues why you could almost never get, Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, like separate in a collection anymore. It's like, unless Jackson's estate or the record companies are being dicks about it. If Sega's the one being dicks about it, it's like, just shut up and make a deal, Yeah. But so kind of cheating, but they could technically use a prototype music and like start like updating like, say like the Switch collection for to include, because I know. Did any Sonic games appear in Sega Genesis Classics on the Switch?
Yeah, the first two.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, they could update it that way. Then, actually, I'm gonna double check. Oh yeah, I was gonna say put Gunstar Heroes in, but yeah, Gunstar's already in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that, and like I want to say fucking. Oh, I always forget that Comic Zone is in there because like, wasn't Comic Zone like never actually on the Genesis proper in America?
No, it was. It was.
Huh.
I remember
I
renting it.
always wondered why people were always like, good luck finding a game. Finding it, it was like Europe. I remember when I was in college, like Europe and Japan.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I rented it just fine at my rental place back then, so.
Hey, audience, he rented it because Nintendo was throwing bitch fits. Sega was not. Yeah, that's probably a topic for another day, like video game rentals, you know? But, yeah. Oof.
Well, Game Pass is kind of like a new way to rent games for Xbox anyway.
Well, yeah. But I meant like the old school shit where you go into the store, rent the cartridge, play it on the system at home, take it back to Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because I know there was a point where the video stores stopped doing game rentals altogether, and not because of like legal ramifications. That's why I think it would make more like a full-time topic than a bonus. So that's me. Yep. Collection shit, or are we moving on?
I say move on.
All right, Brent.
Okay.
On, so knock them off and wow me, because we're talking about dream games.
All right. So when I brought the idea for a topic of dream games, it's
You ended up getting sick.
well, yeah, that was supposed to be my topic from last week, but then I was still fighting off a fever. But the idea for this that I was going through was that I had 3 specific ideas of in forms of dream games, and I have a couple off the top of my head for the first one, but I'll tell you what the 3 I was thinking of, relate to. One is dream games that we want from franchises that we like but have not seen. What we would want from one of the franchise games. 2 is one that where it's we want it for it's our own idea of a dream game. And third one is, just in case you guys have had this, if you guys have encountered a game that really met some of your ideas for a dream game you would want in a franchise. For my personal things, and I'm glad you brought this up to me, Gear, because I personally I would love to see a new addition into the BioShock franchise, because it's a very fun franchise, and it was, honest to God, one of my first horror related franchises I got into.
Nice.
No joke. One of my high school friends, I recommended the game to him. He told me he doesn't get scared normally, but he told me he had nightmares for a week after playing the first game.
Jesus.
Yeah, but that's sort of the thing. Is I would love to see a new addition to that sort of thing. I also have one that kind of got satisfied for the third part. Don't really have something for the second one, but the third one, and well, let's face it, you guys already know I'm a big Metroid fan, right?
Yeah.
Well, I will say this: I never once thought about what it would be like, but I have to say, Dread really hit everything I wanted in a Fusion sequel. The enemies are terrifying to make the SAX look like a joke. The environments are great. they improved on the combat that they put in Return. It's a really great like sequel to one of the first Metroids I ever played.
Nice.
Yeah. But what about you guys? I mean, what's any franchise like, ones that you would want or would like, want to be added into there?
Yeah, but I'll let Matt go first.
For me, it would be like a sort of a Street Fighter game that's like King of Fighters, where it has like everybody from the previous games all in one game.
That's
Everyone is here. King of Fighters Ultimate.
So basically Smash Bros. Ultimate, but with King of Fighters. But I like it.
No. Street Fighter.
Yeah, with Street Fighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because you said King of Fighters.
You said Street Fighter and King of Fighters at the same time. It's kind of hard to tell which one you're referring to.
Sorry.
But yeah, I get you. I completely understand that.
Mm-hmm.
That does sound kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then as for a game that's kind of like that's fulfilled my sort of dream game, I would say I don't know. I think I'll have to think about that, so I'll pass the ball to you here for now.
All right.
Well, I have a few, and I'm going to get the big Pikachu-colored elephant out of the way. Because this is a very massive task and I'm just going to come out and say it. Game Freak never cared about Pokemon. Never. You know why the games were so good prior to Generation 6? Iwata.
Yeah.
Tell me, no, change my mind and prove me wrong. If Iwata had never been involved with Pokemon, what we have now, we would have had as early as fucking Generation 3.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
I'm sorry, anyone who disagrees and says the game still would have been quality without Iwata is probably just a fanboy or an apologist.
Or one of those people who probably
never
thinks that they didn't get bad until then. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah, no. What I mean is like they never gave a fuck because Masuda never gave a fuck. The only reason was that unlike Furukawa, Iwata commanded respect. And because Furukawa is an incompetent CEO and doesn't know how to run a business, he's easier to push around. Even when Iwata was alive, he stepped down because of health reasons. And Masuda was like, well, he's not going to stop me. Let's fuck this shit up like we should have done way back when. The only time any effort of care went into the games were in the most primitive era of the first two generations. And Generation 2 was my all-time favorite. I would love to see, not like split gold and silver, but actual crystal. Actual fucking crystal. Not gold and silver with crystal enhancements. A ninth generation remake of Crystal that, and I could retire from Pokemon a happy man if this happened.
I could imagine.
The complete amount of available Pokemon from like every single Pokemon in existence available, even if somehow with your transfer. Cut moves. Obviously, exceptions would be gimmick moves like Terra Blast, the G moves, the Max moves, the Let's Go moves, and the Z moves. Those are what I call gimmick moves. I'm talking about core moves like Silver Wind and Karate Chop. With a few modern day twists. Because I'm sorry, customization in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, and I know Masuda was telling Ilka what to do to sabotage the game on purpose. I've seen the videos proving it. But like fucking, that was half-assed. Give me the same Gen 6, 7, 8, 9 trainer customization with a larger display of hairstyles, hair colors, eye colors, and outfit colors. You know? Just give me like a massive batch of trainer customization. You know, make the battle tower have the traditional competitive style, but bring in a casual a casual-friendly type matching for the non-competitive scene, where it's like the Battle Hall from Gen 4, but it's more like the gym leaders in the story, where you can 1-2-hit KO the Pokemon with super effective moves and not have to worry about the backlash of competitive trained AI. Like, that would be the dream. And bring back features from Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Bring back the Pokeathlon, you know? I'm going to say replace apricorn juice with, like, energy drinks for, like, berries and shit, you know? And hell, bring back features from other generations. I would love the Pokemon Picnic features from Gen 9, even though it wouldn't be open world, to come back in a remake of Crystal. Imagine picnicking in Cherry Grove City, or like actually in the national park when you're not in the bug catching contest.
Yeah.
You got like the commemorative photos from Gen 4. Those would be nice with the new graphics, you know? And by that, I don't mean like, oh, the new graphics are great. I know they're not good with graphics. I mean like the 3D models instead of the sprite work. Imagine taking the same photo from Heart Gold, Soul Silver, but with full 3D models on the Switch or 3DS.
Yeah, because I mean,
there's a lot of potential to make a content-heavy remake of Pokemon Crystal. And as long as I can transfer my National Dex collection from Ultra Sun over onto the Switch, I can be like, I don't need 10 or onward. I'm good, you know? I mean, I still got to figure out whether I'm just going to abandon my National Dex collection or if I'm actually going to start paying the $15 a year to keep the collection together. I hope that one day somebody steps up to the plate and says, here you go, National Dex back, and we're going to stop. Because, like, I'm sorry. COO saying hundreds of years of Pokemon with the company the way they are.
Yeah.
Pokemon may outlive all three of us, but 100 years from now, that's like, what, 21, 23? Yeah, I'm sorry, but maybe the 22nd century, maybe the 23rd century. I highly doubt, with the way Game Freak runs things, Pokemon's going to last through into the 24th century, you know?
Yeah.
There's two other big ones. Like, I have, like, lots of ideas for dream games, but I'm going to say right now, two big ones. First off, a best of Mario Kart collection, like 96 tracks, including ones from the arcade, including the Nitros from Tour, you know? But fucking a better roster of 50 some odd characters, including a shit ton of newcomers. Get rid of those damn clones. Full vehicle customization, like, you know, like 7 and 8 have. Yeah, you got your versus mode. Put battle mode back the way it used to be in the GameCube, but keep all the new modes like Renegade Roundup. Imagine Renegade Roundup is like a 1-3. Oh yeah. That would be the dream Mario Kart. I know they're never going to do like a best of like that because once they have to put out new games, like, oh no, we want these tracks, remake the best of. They'd literally have to close out the series on that, like the final Mario Kart. But it's a dream, and an improved version of Superstars. You know, one port from each of the first 8 games of the Hudson Soft era. And yes, I'm excluding DS and that abomination we call Mario Party Advance. Obvious reasons for the latter, but you know, but the former is more like, you know, a better selection of minigames. I can do a whole video on which minigames I'd like, just because like it's a matter of opinion. A much better selection, a wider variety of like dual minigames, 2 versus 2, 1 versus 3, for example. You know, like, and you know, other than that, Superstars is good as it is, but if they had been like, here's 8 boards, one for Mario Party 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Here's a vast grouping of 100 minigames, and then just improve upon the minigame mode. You know, like take Superstars and make it All Stars, basically. Then they could throw in like maybe like if they wanted to like rewrite how like Airship Central and Jungle Ruins, for example, played in 10 and 9 respectively. Like make it more in line with the Hudson Soft era before ND Cube was rebranded after the dissolution by Konami. Like they could do that, and then maybe like throw in like an improved version of Mega Fruit Paradise, which is my favorite board from Super. And then just so that there's not, what is that, like 12 games, 12 boards right there? Or 11? You got 8, no, that's 11 boards. So, and then maybe like bring in a board from like DS is like, right there, 12 boards, 4 included in game, 4 is DLC with an additional 50 mini games. How would Mario Party Superstars stack up to that? And those are my top 3 in the Dream Games department. Any more for either of you?
Only main one I can think of is this. Actual sequel to Banjo-Tooie. No, it's never going to happen, but...
In your dream, in your alternate reality, on your parallel Earth.
Yeah.
And yes, I say parallel Earth because I'm hoping somebody out there is a Sliders fan and gets the reference,
Yeah.
There, for those of you scratching your heads, you got it. Sliders, parallel Earths. Anyway, in your parallel Earth, we're actually going to get Banjo 3.
Yeah.
I have to harden the pronunciation. They're like 3E. 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like I said just Banjo 3. But 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what they were going for in the, like,
I know they were. I know they were when Gruntilda said it in Banjo 2. But I'm like,
yeah.
I am on board. I'm on board. Like, I would get on Phil Spencer's case, if I could talk to the man, I would be like, hey, you own Rare now. Where the hell is Banjo 3? Even if you got to make it an Xbox time exclusive and then port it later. Give me Bird and Bear Round 3, please. Main series. None of that spin-off crap like Nuts and Bolts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt?
I'd say what my current dream game is right now is like just Street Fighter 6 has pretty much been a great dream game for now. And but as far as like another dream game that I would want, it would be like I'd say like a Mega Man Legacy collection of like Mega Man Legends. Because they never seem to want to touch that one, so.
Aren't there only 2 games in Mega Man Legends though?
Yeah.
I think that could be why. Because I know that I remember reading in Nintendo Power when 3 was announced that I heard that Capcom was taking fan suggestions. And remember, prior to Sonic Mania and the fans working on that game, because like Whitehead and all them, they're fans. And they made a fan game. Sega let them do it. And that's why Nintendo didn't want it on their system at first. How dare you listen to the fans, Sega? Until they found out how much money was to be made. But that's probably why Mega Man Legends 3 got canceled. It was supposed to be a 3DS exclusive, and Nintendo said, wait, you're taking fan input? Forget it, we're not publishing that. Because that was 2011. They were still on that very big, don't ever listen to what the fans have to say kick. I mean, they still got that kick, but sometimes a couple of developers who Miyamoto probably thinks gets too big for their britches, they come together. You know what? We're going to make the cars in Coconut Mall move again. I will buy. They did that because of fan outrage. Fan feedback made that happen. Back in 2011, they would have said, oh, you want the cars to move? Fuck you! Yeah. Time kind of changing, but yeah. I am of the theory that Legends 3 got canceled because of Capcom asking fans what they wanted to see in the game. And planning to implement it if they could. Yeah? So that's probably why. And that would be like DuckTales only had 2 games, you know? A DuckTales collection would consist of the NES versions of 1 and 2, and if they were feeling generous, the Game Boy ports.
Yeah.
Not much to work with. But with Mega Man Legends, it got even less to work with. So, yeah. Has Star Force gotten a Legacy Collection yet?
Nope.
There you go. If you like Star Force. I never played it.
I never played it either, but I heard it was okay.
I played a little bit of Battle Network as a kid. I always preferred the platforming version over the RPG version, but that's just
Yeah.
All right, lightning round. Tonight's bonus topic: what game of 2024, out of all the games coming out in 2024 that you want, are you most looking forward to?
I'd say Tekken 8.
Really?
Yep.
This I gotta see. Oh, son of a bitch! Tekken 8 is coming out on Jet. Oh, I know. I said we were starting 2024 off right with Apollo Justice trilogy, but in Apollo Justice and Tekken. Oh yeah, 2024 is starting off on the right foot.
Yeah.
All right, Brett.
For
Bear with
myself,
himself. He doesn't play very many games these days.
well, I've got something in my life called a job.
You also have something in your life when you're not hanging out with us called free time.
Yeah, roughly around like maybe 4 hours of it.
You know how much of a game I could play in 4 hours?
Okay. Well,
all jokes aside, seriously.
Well, let me think. Well, it's a minor one at the moment, but I definitely am looking forward to the Princess Peach one they announced. Like, it's been a while since since the first one they ever did. So I'm interested to see what they do with this one.
Yeah.
Well, from what I've seen, it looks promising, you know?
It definitely looks promising.
So, I mean, there's a fair couple on my list, but number one, I'm looking forward to for 2024 because it got pushed back to 2024. I knew it pushed back to 2024 before Level 5 announced the delay. And then yesterday, I say yesterday because everybody knows that this is being streamed on Thursday, November 30th, 2023. Yesterday, November 29th, Wednesday, November 29th, I knew about the delay because there was barely any information outside of what was showcased on the website. And by the time October rolled around and the game still hadn't come out, I knew there was a very big chance of a pushback. Level 5 finally announced not the release date, but the release window of the sequel to Fantasy Life. And I was looking up the time frame that the Level 5 showcase was going to be yesterday. I didn't tune in because it was like I was still asleep when it happened in the morning, but summer 2024. And while I was on Level 5's Fantasy Life website, 2 new lives. All the lives from the 3DS game are back. Plus Farmer and Painter. Now that there's like some new lives to play with, plus old ones coming back, and the fact that they're basically taking like the New Horizons, Dreamlight Valley approach while still bringing back the RPG stuff, because like Fantasy Life is like, it's an RPG, and at the same time, it's a life simulation. 2 genres slammed into one, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm fucking hyped. Like, I plan on getting Paper Mario. I plan on getting all of Genesis. I plan on getting all the good shit. But I am 100% out the door, looking forward most to Fantasy Life by the Girl with Skills Time.
Huh?
I played Fantasy Life on the 3DS. I still own it. Like, Brent, you ever get a secondhand 3DS, even though like the shop is down, you can't look at the DLC anymore? That is top 100 games you have to play before you die. Fantasy Life on the 3DS would make that list. Like, it is a fucking epic game. And
all right,
level
well,
5, guys, the people at level 5 who worked on Fantasy Life, well, we're not going to make a sequel because mobile gaming is the future. That comment obviously aged poorly. And they gave in, we're bringing a new Fantasy Life game to the Switch. I should have soundproofed my apartment because when I saw that in the direct, I was like, just like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I could definitely probably.
Headphones, I just shrieked.
I will consider putting that to my list as well.
I definitely recommend it. It's like you get a taste of what the 3DS game was like, but with like the new game and like enhanced features, But yeah. I definitely recommend it,
Okay.
I gotta show you some screenshots of like next time we're hanging out, like on like Saturday or something. I gotta show you some screenshots of some funny shit from the first game.
Okay then.
Oh yeah. There's actually the leader of the Paladins is named Colonel Mustang. No relation to the Full Metal Alchemist character, right? But he has this giant fucking like Dr. Robotnik mustache, so everybody calls him Colonel Mustache instead of Mustang. He never bothers to correct him. It's got really charming, really amusing dialogue. Like you guys have played Professor Layton, right?
I haven't.
I was gonna say, if you have, you get an idea of what kind of like dialogue and like what kind of like amusing shit you can see from level 5 games.
Yeah,
like they do a really good job of like keeping the game fun, having some good scenes, some good dialogue. So yeah, I could gush, but we're out of time. So, all right. Well, until next time, we will see you all in the next video. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.